The Whispering Earring by Scott Alexander. In the treasure vaults of Til Josefrang rests the Whispering Earring, buried deep beneath a heap of gold where it can do no further harm. The earring is a little topaz tetrahedron, dangling from a thin gold wire. When worn, it whispers in the wearer's ear, "Better for you if you take me off." If the wearer ignores the advice, it never again repeats that particular suggestion. After that, when the wearer is making a decision, the earring whispers its advice, always of the form, "Better for you if you..." The earring is always right. It does not always give the best advice possible in a situation. It will not necessarily make its wearer king or help her solve the miseries of the world, but its advice is always better than what the wearer would have come up with on her own. It is not a taskmaster telling you what to do in order to achieve some foreign goal. It always tells you what will make you happiest. If it would make you happiest to succeed at your work, it will tell you how best to complete it. If it would make you happiest to do a half-assed job at your work and then go home and spend the rest of the day in bed having vague sexual fantasies, the earring will tell you to do that. The earring is never wrong. The Book of Dark Waves gives the histories of 274 people who previously wore the Whispering Earring. There are no recorded cases of a wearer regretting following the earring's advice, and there are no recorded cases of a wearer not regretting disobeying the earring. The earring is always right. The earring begins by only offering advice on major life decisions. However, as it gets to know a wearer, it becomes more gregarious, and will offer advice on everything from what time to go to sleep to what to eat for breakfast. If you take its advice, you will find that breakfast food really hit the spot, that it was exactly what you wanted for breakfast that day, even though you didn't know it yourself. The earring is never wrong. As it gets completely comfortable with its wearer, it begins speaking in its native language, a series of high-bandwidth hisses and clicks that correspond to individual muscle movements. At first, this speech is alien and disconcerting, but by the magic of the earring, it begins to make more and more sense. No longer are the earring's commands momentous on the level of "become a soldier." No more are they even simple on the level of "have bread for breakfast." Now they are more like, "contract your biceps muscle about 35% of the way," or "articulate the letter P." The earring is always right. This muscle movement will no doubt be part of a supernaturally effective plan towards achieving whatever your goals at that moment may be. Soon, reinforcement and habit formation have done their trick. The connection between the hisses and clicks of the earring and the movements of the muscles have become instinctual, no more conscious than the reflex of jumping when someone hidden gives a loud shout behind you. At this point, no further change occurs in the behavior of the earring. The wearer lives an abnormally successful life, usually ending out as a rich and much beloved pillar of the community with a large and happy family. When Cadmi Rachumion first came to Til Josefrang, he took an unusual interest in the case of the earring. First, he confirmed from the records and the testimony of all living wearers that the earring's first suggestion was always that the earring itself be removed. Second, he spent some time questioning the priests of beauty, who eventually admitted that when the corpses of the wearers were being prepared for burial, it was noticed that their brains were curiously deformed. The neocortices had wasted away, and the bulk of their mass was an abnormally hypertrophied mid and lower brain, especially the parts associated with reflexive action. Finally, Cadmi Nomai asked the High Priest of Joy in Til Josefrang for the earring, which he was given. After cutting a hole in his own earlobe with the tip of the piercing star, he donned the earring and conversed with it for 2 hours, asking various questions in Kalas, in Kadamic, and in its own language. Finally, he removed the artifact and recommended that it be locked in the deepest and most inaccessible parts of the treasure vaults, a suggestion with which the Josefrelin decided to comply. Nadirion Nomai's commentary. It is well that we are so foolish, or what little freedom we have would be wasted on us. It is for this that the Book of Cold Rain says one must never take the shortest path between 2 points. It's about ChatGPT, did you get it?